We've got a lot to do today. Let's get to work. Got to fill up the cube feeder. They haven't been fed cubes in a few days. As you can see, they're really hungry for them this morning. But my feeder is about empty, so I've got to fill it right quick. Ready to feed them now. At this point, just about 2 weeks away from starting to calve for the spring. So some of them are beginning to look a little calvy, not too many here. We'll be there in no time. Down at the creek place to feed cubes down here, we've done a little re-fencing, and you can see they're enjoying bedding down here in this area by the old barn. And then we're going to put out a little hay for them after we get the cubes fed, because again, the weather forecast is snow day after tomorrow quite a bit, and then a lot more snow this coming weekend. So got to get plenty of energy inside them before all this takes place, if the weathermen know what they're talking about. This is the source of my water supply down here at the creek place. There's a spring that comes out of the side of the hill, and I've owned this place probably close to 20 years. It has never failed to run, even in the most extreme drought like we had last summer. Never have to chop ice in the wintertime. Stays cool in the summertime. I always think the calves do better down here because they have a source of fresh, clean water readily available to them year-round. You can also see the watercress growing here at the outlet of that too, so it never freezes. And this spring pretty much runs the entire length of my 150 acres down here. Okay, we've got all the cubes fed to all three places now. So I'm gonna run home, get the tractor, and unroll a little hay. Plus we still got to feed the bulls too. So that's where we're headed now, back home. when I unwrapped that last bale of hay, I found something you might be interested in. These are rhizomes of Johnson grass. Now, Johnson grass for most people is a terrible weed, but my dad even used to make hay out of it. But that's the way it spreads with the rhizomes, and that's about as good an example as you'll ever see of it. If Johnson grass is in your corn or soybeans, you definitely want to get rid of it because it saps all the nutrients and moisture away from those crops. Out in the pasture, if you have too much of it, the cattle could eat it before frost and it actually kill them. But if it's in hay, like this was, you get it cured out, it's usually not a problem. My dad used to feed pretty much straight Johnson grass hay out of the creek bottom, cured out, and cut it before it headed out and everything. So it's a weird plant, but that's the way it spreads, is through rhizomes primarily. I've got a little bit more of a core to unroll than I normally have because it was just a half a bale. Evidently, I didn't get it speared right in the very center, so that leaves me quite a bit more to unroll by hand here. No problem, unless Louie gets the cows all worked up, which he is. We've got everything fed. Let's call it a day.